Hey guys, good night, morning, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. I greet you with the love of God. Um, if you're hearing a lot of stuff in the background, I'm cooking breakfast for my son. So, excuse the grease. Excuse the grease. All right, guys. So, um, this is actually coming from a prophetic dream. God just downloaded the revelation to me, and He gave me the title actually for this video. And the title is Leave the Past in the Past, Your Future is Loading. So in this dream, I had an ex. That has reached out to me and tried to come back into my life recently, and tried to basically get back with me, other stuff and I kind of just shut it down. And this happened in a dream. So in the dream, it was dark. I was outside, and this ex was talking outside, and this ex tried to touch me in a sexual manner, and this ex tried to come on to me. In the dream, I said no. I moved their hand, like, don't touch me. No, we're not going back to that. I was nice to them, until they crossed that boundary, and then I put them in their place. And actually, in real life, that actually did happen. Like, this ex tried to come back onto me, emotionally and mentally, and wanted to be back with me. And I was like, no, I'm not going back to my past. I'm focused on my future. I know what God, I know who God wants me to be with. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to entertain nothing that's going to distract me or keep me stagnant in my love life. I know where I'm going and where I'm supposed to be. And so God is just warning. I'm saying that this is a supernatural warning. Don't go back. Don't go back. The enemy is sending every last counterfeit. The enemy is sending every last distraction to keep you from going to the next place. This ex actually stayed. Long story short, you got to shut stuff down. You can't even entertain it. You can't even let this person think there's a chance. Because I'm in a dream, like, this person wanted to see if the door was still open, and when I removed their hand, they realized that the door is actually closed now, and that there is no coming back. There is no getting back with me. And even in real life, it's the same thing. Like, this person knows, like, the boundary is there now. Like, there is no us. There is no getting back together. And so it's a supernatural warning to leave your past in the past. And it doesn't just mean romantic relationships. They can also mean check on this. They can also mean certain family relationships. Like God can restore your family, and bring people back into your life, but you have to discern to see, like, are these people meant to be in my life in this season? And if so, Lord, is that season right now? Because some people will try to come back because they tried to do stuff and it didn't work out for them, and now they're trying to come back and into your life because they know that God is with you. And so some people will try to come back like, okay, well, God is with this person, so if I can't, what do they say? If you can't beat them, you gotta join them. So you gotta make sure that you're using discernment in this season. Like, I had a couple people that try to apologize to me, a couple family members, for stuff that they did. Even now, they weren't even telling me the truth. Like, they kept lying about a lot of the stuff. I'm like, well, it's not true repentance, or you're not telling the whole truth. And so I know that in that moment, like, I was like, it's not time yet, because you're not ready to tell me the full truth yet. And you can't have reconciliation without first truth. Truth has to reign in every relationship. What does the Bible say? Love rejoices when the truth wins out. But you have to be discerning, just friendships, relationships, all these things. You have to make sure that it's a God thing. You have to make sure that God is the one that's orchestrating it, so you don't find yourself bringing the wrong relationships with you when God moves you to your next level. Because wherever God is taking you is elevation, and so the wrong people can bring you down or can sabotage what God is trying to do in the new thing. And what God is bringing to my memory is I seen a story of a woman who opened a very successful hair salon. I think it was a hair salon or boutique, one of them. And at the celebration of her opening business after she was successful, one of the friends that she had that was jealous of her poisoned her, and she died. This woman died by celebrating with people that she thought was for her, and they put something in her drink and killed this woman. So this woman is now deceased. Wasn't even able to fully enjoy the success of the things that God had for her, because her life was cut short by having the wrong people around her. I'm huge on forgiveness. Let stuff go. Don't poison yourself. Heal. Go through the process. Grieve the loss of the relationships, or the transition of what a relationship is now. Because sometimes you don't necessarily have to cut people off. You can transition those relationships. Okay. This happened between us, but no, you can't be in my close circle anymore. You can be in my associate circle. We can interact. We can love on each other, but you are not allowed to know the vulnerable parts of me. You have not earned that. You are not a safe place for those things. So a lot of relationships in this season need to transition. You need to pray and say, God, who needs to go? Who needs to stay? God, remove whoever needs to be removed, and let stay whoever needs to stay. And I remember watching a prophetic word on God was getting ready to basically cut off loose ends. And so God was really dealing with a lot of the relationships in my life personally. And I'm not in a rush to jump back into any relationships with family or, certain friendships. If a person is meant to be in your life, they're going to be in your life. You don't have to rush to push somebody into a position that God has not given you the okay to let that person be. You can take your time and say, hey, I'm not sure I want to hang out today. Let me get back to you. Let me pray and make sure, let me get back to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be over spiritual, but I'm saying that you have to use discernment, and don't let nobody rush you into a relationship. And what I mean by that, a perfect example of this in the Bible is when Joshua was going to destroy the land, right? He was taking back his land. And what happened? I think it was the Gileadites or something like that. They came, they put on tattered clothes. They put moldy bread into their satchel to make them think that they were far away, that they came from a distant land to make peace with him. And what happened was they were lying. They were close by. Joshua was on his way to take their land, and they made him, and they knew Joshua was a man of his word, and he could not go against his word, otherwise he'll be dishonorable and put himself in the judgment of God, right? So he hurried up and made a covenant with them. And because he made that covenant, he could not kill them. He was supposed to go in and destroy everything and take the land back, but he could not kill. Dang, my elbow keeps sliding. He could not kill them. So it's okay to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to make any covenants with you. I'm not going to sign any contracts with you. Give me some time. I need to make sure I'm making the right decision. We both need to pray. Let's both go on a fast together. Let's pray together. Let's make sure we're supposed to be in each other's lives, because where God is taking you, you cannot afford to just have any and everybody around you, because especially if you're called to influence, because those be the same people that when stuff go on in your personal life, they be at the tabloids, getting paid to tell all your business. So, especially if you want to live a private life, you have to be careful who you allow in your circle. I don't plan on having nobody in my circle that I do not trust, or around my family, my future children, my future husband, that are going to sabotage not only my stuff, but his stuff. Proverbs 31 was a woman who guarded her home. She was a watcher over her home. And God will charge you. A lot of times we tend to be more spiritually sensitive. God has given us certain tools. Men are protected, so they also are sensitive in an area of danger, right? And women, we may not see as much danger as men may see. So it's not like a gender thing, but it's more so of the roles that God created us to play as women and men. And a lot of times you have to be careful. You have to watch your surroundings and make sure that you're being a good keeper of your home, being a good keeper of your spouse. You don't have to necessarily wait till it says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and he finds favor with the Lord. So before a man finds you, you're already a wife. Before a man finds you and set his eyes on you, you're already a wife. So move like it now. Get rid of those people that's going to be causing drama and headache and stuff in your marriage. Get away from them family members that's always complaining about their spouse and think that you're going to see when you get married. Watch, I'm going to come back and see. No, you're not going to see, because guess what? You're not going to be a part of my life. Because no, you're not going to influence me to become That's not the type of wife I want to be. So I'm going to surround myself with people who have wisdom, people who can give me good, sound advice on who have successful marriages, right? You don't go to somebody who's not an expert. You go to somebody who has expertise. You read your word and you see, what God says about marriage, and you also go to God and ask God, what is my marriage supposed to look like, Lord? What my marriage that you have for me, Father? What does that look like for me in this season? Because not everybody marriage is created for the same thing, so you have to ask God for the personal information. Like, Lord, what is my marriage supposed to look like personally, Father? I want to see the vision that you have for me and my spouse, so that we don't go trying to be somebody else, or we don't go trying to mimic somebody else. We want to be genuinely, authentically who we were created to be. And that may not look like everybody else, and that's okay. But God just been really speaking to me about relationships, and God has started to bring like a lot of new people into my life, so that people that are experiencing success in relationships, and who are really good for my mental health, and people that that mean you well. Because as you guys know, I went through a lot the last few months with just people close out. If you know about this one, I went through a lot these last few months, and it was particularly through a lot with people. And so God had to heal me, and then He started to bring the right people around me again. So you have to go through a season of testing and trials and stuff, and then God will release the right people. You want some more juice, Abby? Okay, that's my son. So I love you guys. Bye.